This video is going to talk about our new product, which is, we call it a Stormdoor kit, but it's a repinning kit, so it could be sold, bought in the UK and Europe as a repinning kit, and in the USA, our marketing of this is as a Stormdoor DIY or a locksmith kit. So let me just explain why our market in America. So in America, typically there'll be an external door, which is usually a beautiful external door, which will use this type of lock. There are various versions of this type of lock as well. There's lots of different versions of this type of lock. And the two popular sections and locks in the US is quickset. This particular lock is a quickset, which you can typically see because of the key. I know it says it on the key, but you can tell by the actual shape of the key itself. And there is a Schlag. And this particular keyway is a KW1 keyway. So, what they'll also have in many states in the USA is a door that will actually lock in front of the main door, which is called a storm door. And that's to protect the main door from weather. And typically the storm door will have a Euro style cylinder, and quite typically again the storm door and the main door have different keys, and quite often people may lose or simply not use the key for the storm door because it's inconvenient. And so what we want to do is to have a one key solution. So this kit is designed to be able to enable people to have a one key solution using the existing key that they have for their lock. So as we can see, this key turns this particular lock very well. So what I want to do now is to make this cylinder operate the same as this lock here, and then once I fit that cylinder into a storm door, I'll then have a one key solution, and that's where our kit comes in. So what you get in the kit is a cylinder itself, which is a 5-pin cylinder. This is our cylinder with a KW1 quickset keyway. 5 pins. You'll see they are currently empty. There's nothing in them, and there's no key because we don't need them. And there is a bag, and in this bag is this range of products here. So we have pins, we have springs, we have more pins, and we have end caps, and we have an Allen key. You don't need a key because we're going to key to the existing key, and this is the existing key that we saw a couple of seconds ago, which works on this door. So there isn't any point in putting a key in. So the idea is to use the existing key. So the householder has now bought our storm door key, and they've bought themselves and they've got themselves their original key. So we're getting the cylinder, and we're going to match it to this key. So how do we do this? You'll see on all keys that there are the teeth, which are the key cuts, and these cuts relate to the pins. And there are different sizes of cuts, and you'll see there's different pin heights. And in a quickset key or lock, there are 6 different heights of pin, and I'm going to call them 1 to 6. So that's 1 being the smallest and 6 being the largest. And what we're now going to do is just blindly try and work out what is the number, what is the cut for each of these pins, and it's relatively simple to do. So we can see this is a deep cut here, which is the one that will marry up to this particular hole here. So it's a very deep cut. So the most logical thing is to start with the deepest and the biggest pin. So I'm going to start with this number 6 pin here. And what we can also see on the pin is that there is a flat part on one end, flat part here, and there's one that's got a little bit of a point on the other end, and that's the one that goes in. So I'm going to put that in there, and I'm going to get my key. I'm going to put the key in the lock, and you can see that it won't work. So that key is not working. So as a result of that, that's the wrong pin. So I'm not going to use that pin. I'm going to put that pin back. And now I'm going to go to the next one down. It's the most logical thing to do. And I'm going to use that. So I'm going to put the pin side in first. Put that down, the sharp pin side in first. And as you can see, that works beautifully. That's turning really well. I'm going to get one of these pins here, a flat pin. Put that in. I'm going to put the spring in next. And then I'm going to get an end cap, which is an Allen key, so it can be removed. So if you get something wrong, or you want to change these pins again for another lock in the future, then you can do so. Whoops, very, very, very easily. So there isn't any issue doing this at all. So let's just put that on here, and then what we'll do is we'll try. So what we're now going to do is to try this first pin, and as you can see, it works extremely well. Just going to tighten up this pin here, this end cap. There you go. Okay, what we're now going to do is look at the next key cut. It's a lot shallower. We can see it's going to be number 1, 2, 3, or 4. We can see that there's a really low one there. So I'm going to say that it's probably going to be a number 2. I could try a 4 or a 3, but I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to say that this bottom one here is a 1, and I'll say that's the next one up, which is a 2. Let's try a 2. And it's a bit of a guessing game, but it's very easy to do. And if you get something wrong, then all you have to do is just take it out. It's as simple as you saw when I did that number 6 early on. There you go. That's working really, really well. Take that out. And what I'll do now is I will get my flat pin, put that in the chamber, and then I'm going to get my spring, put that in the chamber, and then I'm going to get my cap again. I'm going to put that on the end. Then I'm going to test it again. There we go. So you can see that that's working really well. The next one I can see, I said before, is probably going to be a number 1, and it certainly will be if the one I've just put in is a number 2, and it's smaller than that, so that's going to be a number 1. So I'm going to put that in. I'll try, just because it's always a good thing just to try. There you go, works really well. I'm going to put my flat pin in. Then I'm going to put the spring in. I'll put my top cap on, my end cap, and that'll be then 3 of the 5 done in just a few minutes. So let's just do that there. Always good to try. There we go. Works beautifully, as you can see. Right, so we're now going to go back to the next one. That looks to be about the same as that one I did before, which was a number 2. Now what we provide within the set is 3 pins of each size, because there is never more than 3 of any one pin within the system. So you don't need any. There you go. That works. And you don't. So therefore, you don't need more than 3 pins of any one size. It's very rare, from what we've seen, to see 3 of the same pin in the kit, in a pinning bitting range anyway, so you don't need any more than 3. Could have done 2, but we just think that the extra, just in case, is always a good thing to have. So this will be the 4th. There is no skill particularly needed with this at all. Slight little bit of patience just for a few minutes, but it can be, there we go, it works very, very smoothly. Now let's look at this last one. So we know that's a number 2. The next one to use obviously would be a number 3, which will be the next one up because it's obviously a slightly deeper cut. So we're now going to try number 3. You can see that works very smoothly. So it was certainly number 3. Going to put our flat pin in. Put our spring in. Then put our end cap on. There we go. So in theory, this should have all 5 pins working. Yep, now we have all 5 pins are working. Let's get back our original lock. So we can now see that this lock here, that key will work that lock. And this key also works this lock. So we've now got ourselves a single key solution. And just for good measure, I'm going to put in one of my spare pins. I'm going to put one of the larger pins in, just in this end here. And all this one is going to do is just it just helps hold the thumb turn in position. There's enough pins within the kit, enough springs and caps within the system to allow you to do this. And what you'll see, there we go. And all that will do is just give a little bit of a stop at its at the right position. So what we now have is a 1 key solution for your Stormdoor lock, or as a repinnable. So if you bought one of our other 5-pin cylinders, then you could actually repin this cylinder to the other cylinder. Very simple, very quick.